Hey, this is Anthony Cesari with SuccessForYourSongs.com, and in this video we're going to talk about how to choose notes for your chorus. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the range of notes that you should be using in your chorus when compared to what you're doing in your verses. And I'm going to be playing a clip for you of an interview I did with Shane Adams, who had some cool thoughts on this topic, and I think what he talks about will really help you make your choruses pop from your song after you hear or after a listener hears what you did in your verses. So check that out here. What should songwriters keep in mind when they're writing the actual pitches or the notes for their melodies? How should they use contrast from section to section? And what should they be keeping in mind when they're writing the actual notes? And not to say that necessarily rhythm and pitch should be written separately, although you could, but if we're just kind of picking apart the pieces and analyzing things, and we're just focusing on pitches right now, what should songwriters keep in mind about that?
Well, one of the things I keep saying this. One of the things I tell my students, but it's true, because I want all your listeners, I want all your the people that hear this podcast. I genuinely want you guys to write the most amazing, most memorable songs.
Right.
You possibly can in whatever style it is. Again, another way that you can really use contrast is saving higher notes for your chorus.
Yeah, I think that's a great one.
Even if you don't read music or you can't actually physically notate your music like Mozart or Beethoven, listen to the pitches you're singing, and try and have new notes. And I say higher notes, usually, it's more exciting for a listener to have higher notes in your chorus than your verse, and that's across all genres. If you listen, that just happens over and over and over and over again in every style of music.
And I think that's actually that's one of the easiest ones and probably one of the most powerful ones to implement. So if you write a song, and again we get into this, it just sounds boring because maybe somebody's giving you feedback that it's just everything sounds the same. The verses sounds like the choruses. You're using the same chords everywhere. The note range is pretty much the same in your melodies from the verse to the chorus to the bridge. One thing you could do, right off the bat, I think, to start to make things sound more interesting is to just elevate the notes in the chorus and make those pitches higher. That'll just really make it stand out, especially if you can, we were talking about titles earlier, making those stand out. If the titles are on the highest pitched notes, I mean, that's a great way right there just to highlight the title and let people know what the song is called.
Absolutely, and I would add to that it's not enough to have high notes in your chorus. It's to have new high notes in your chorus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with a young artist from Canada right now who's a terrific kind of alternative rock songwriter. His name's Patrick Clark. He's a great writer. And I don't, Patrick, if you listen to this, I apologize for busting you in front of these thousands of people. But he has a tendency to not he'll create these really great chorus melodies, but I find a lot of times in his verse he'll use maybe a similar melodic phrase or use that note even in passing. It's not really highlighted in the verse, but he'll use it, and it kind of kills the effect in the chorus. It's almost like giving away your punchline.
Right.
When you tell a joke, you don't tell the punchline first and then tell the joke and then tell the punchline again.
Right.
But when I get to the end of this joke, the punchline is going to be, why the long face? Okay, so now here's the joke. A horse walks into a bar. You save it, and so save those high notes. So really start being aware of what you're singing. And then again, I'm saying high notes, and I don't want to push anyone into a writing corner. So let's say your verse is full of high notes. Well, then use low notes in your melody.
And I think if you're not doing that, if all your notes, like I said, I think that's a pretty powerful way to differentiate the sections. But
if you do end up, using pretty much the same range of notes from verse to chorus, you want to be doing a lot of stuff rhythmically that's different from verse to chorus. Maybe you were talking about earlier, those machine gun, like, quick choppy notes. You want to be doing something like real quick in the chorus or in the verse, and then when you get to the chorus, you have these much more long, drawn out notes. Yeah. And if you use them in tandem, if you do like the rhythm and the pitch stuff, that's when you can really start to get choruses that just jump out of your song, and it's just impossible to have a song like that be boring.
All right, so if you liked what you learned in that video, I've actually put together a PDF transcript of what Shane and I talked about, which you can download right below that video. So click there to grab that. This way it'll be an easy reference for you next time you're writing a song. And when you grab that PDF, I'll also be pointing you to another report I have on writing choruses called How to Quickly Write Unforgettable Choruses. So you can check that out there as well. And if you like this video, you can feel free to leave a comment below or share it. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for checking us out. Take care.